this time by Sister Octavia Sackle. Amen.
This is not my first time giving this speech about my grandfather as a memorial speech, just so you will know. When I was undergrad, I was given an opportunity for one of my projects to give a speech about someone that you consider to be your hero. And the teacher said, well, it can be someone living or dead. Just make a decision, and that should be your speech. So I contemplated for a while, trying to make a decision on who should I talk about. I was crazy about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I thought he was a great pioneer of the civil rights movement. Followed him for a very long time. Then I thought about my mother and everything that she had overcome in life, and I said, well, not my mother, not Dr. King, but my grandfather.
Right.
So then it was a decision on how do I compose this speech? How will I present this? Given that it was a memorial speech, however, he still was in the land of the living. And that's when I realized that my grandfather was my hero.
Amen.
There was no other man that walked this earth that was my hero, like my grandfather. What made him my hero, you may ask? He was a man with limited education.
All right.
I'm not sure whether you know, but we knew as his grandchildren that he could not read or write. But yet, the courage to take your family and raise them in the city of Chicago, bringing your wife, uprooting and helping to raise your grandchildren the way that he did, this man.
Talk about it, Keita.
That's all right.
Better say something.
He always told us as we grew up, and I know all of my cousins, including my siblings that are present, will attest to keep your eyes in your books. See, even though that was something that he had not attained, though he accomplished a lot of things, he made it clear that his standard for us was for us to keep our eyes in our books at all times. As I grew older, I never really understood what keep your eyes in your books meant, but I knew that had something to do with school.
All right.
But I remember the day that I actually obtained my undergraduate degree, and I talked to him on the phone, and I said, Granddad, guess what? And he said, yes, Peter. And I said, I kept my eyes in my books, and I showed him my college degree. He was a man that believed in education. He was a man that believed in hard work. Every day we were there with him. He'd get up early in the morning. We never knew what Granddad was doing, but we knew he was leaving the house. He was cleaning stuff up so good, smelling good, hair from head to toe, just dressed. And leave the house. And about 6 o'clock in the evening, he'd come back home. All we knew is that he was at work. But little did we know behind the scenes that this was a businessman. He was an entrepreneur. He was behind the scenes building a cleaning business. He was behind the scenes working and doing an actual event planning business. He set the foundation for us as his grandchildren and for his children to see that even though, yes, I may not have been able to really read and write, I knew what it took to make it in the United States. I knew what it takes to be a black man in this society, to survive through the civil rights movement, to help bring you guys forward in order for you guys to be the next part of my legacy, to push us to the next level. My grandfather was a husband. This we know. He loved his safety, and you could tell him no different. I thought about Valentine's Day because the anniversary was February 18th, and Valentine's Day was February 14th. So we'd always see this big heart of chocolate and this big 2 dozen, not 1, 2 dozen of roses sitting in the kitchen waiting waited on her every morning. See, she knew on Valentine's Day, her rose was going to come through for her. And as a husband, he taught me how to be committed to things, how to be committed to life, how to be committed to love. No matter what, he taught me that it was important in that, watching their marriage of over 63 years, to be committed. And most importantly, let's not forget, you know the relationship he taught me how to be committed to? A relationship to God and Jesus Christ. See, as a deacon in the church, as a grandfather, as a husband, as a father, as a nurturer, as a man that was a pure foundation for our family, he never allowed us to let God take the back seat. He kept Christ in God in front of us at all times and let us know that you are nothing without God. So make sure that you stay in relationship and committed to God.
Yes.
As a man of God, he was a man of love. He was a man of peace. He was a giver, as stated earlier. We knew this. Now, my recollection of this giver, as a young girl, every year, Christmas time came around. And I'm not exaggerating, this is not embellishment. My grandfather would make me gift wrap 100+ gifts every year. And I never understood the purpose of this toil that I had to do to wrap all of these gifts. And I mean, it was beautiful, wrapping paper, bows. And then someone, he said, don't put no names on them, don't put no names on them. And I used to be like, well, how are we going to know who these gifts belong to? So many. He said, just put man and put lady. And then I'll take care of the rest. Here come New Year's Eve. Now, I know y'all know about this. Every year, Granddad would have this New Year's Eve party. The house would be full of people. From top to bottom and around the circles, out in the yard, wherever it was. And he said, no one will leave this home without a gift. And that was the giver. That was the man that was the trailblazer for our family. The foundation to teach us how to love each other, how to be in unity, no matter what. Despite the circumstances, today we stand here, as my cousin stated, because of coronavirus. But see, he was a man of faith, as Charles said. And this man right here of faith, see, he knew how to speak to things. He knew how to take authority over things. He knew how to say, oh, well, okay, if it's supposed to be some COVID-19 in there, that's fine, but guess who got me? My God. And my God will tell everybody that walk up in there, and we're going to take authority over that thing and trust and faith and know that God got us covered. See, you got to know how to speak to things. That was something that my grandfather taught me. You learn how to take authority over things and say, you will not control me. You will not be the end to my all, because I am greater than whatever man has said exists in this earth to take me down. I'm going and I'm going to be there. You know why? Because my God is waiting on me to be in that place, and that's where I will be. So today we showed up to be in that place for him. So as the trailblazer and a man that set standards for unity in our family, as I conclude today, I just want you to know that David, I think about him. He made me a businesswoman. He made me an entrepreneur. He gave me the courage to move forward no matter what. And he prepared me for this world. And I say, of course, to my siblings and my cousins, the next generation, always remember that this man prepared us for the world. He overcame many obstacles. He beat the odds of what they said you could not be.
Well.
And he lays here rest in 93 to let us know that all things are possible through Christ who strengthens you. God be with you. I love you. God bless you.